All right, I'd like to pick on this issue of ethnicity, Chief Wazirike. Have we really gone beyond the ethnicity question, particularly when we see how voting was done and the distribution of votes, particularly for the presidential candidate in the Southeast? Have we gone beyond the question of ethnicity?
I don't think we have gone beyond that in this country. It's still at the back of most people's minds. Let me put it this way. If you ask this person, where are you from? He will not say he's from Nigeria. He will say, I'm Hausa, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm Kanuri. This is the key issue at the back, which is also why whatever you are doing, people will also look at the spread, whether you are carrying all the tribes, at least majority of them, in whatever you are doing. Look at even the Boko Haram. What is it they're doing? They're still trying to identify themselves in a particular way, involving some tribes, essentially Kanuri and all the other smaller tribes, moving down to Adamawa. So issue of tribe is not something that must be swept aside. If you do that, it will go back to the conversation between Zik and the Sadona. Let us forget, which is what the British man will say. Let us understand, which is what the Arab will say. So in this country, whatever you do, even including devolution of powers, including rotation of powers, if we don't take that into account, even within a state, if we make a mistake, it's always there. And it's going to be difficult to wave it aside. In any case, I don't know which country where issue of tribes has actually been eliminated.
Lord.
Never. In Britain, you can't think of a Scot coming to win an election to be the prime minister. In America, which is an immigrant country, if you say you're a Jew, they'll vote against you, even though the Jews influence anybody. If you say you're a Muslim, trouble. So it's something you must always have in mind whenever you're doing anything.
All right, Chief Wazirike, what then do you think we need to do as a nation to cross this ethnic divide and the regional sectionalism?
If no country has crossed it, then don't assume you will be the first. Not even in Russia, which is actually dictatorial. But then what we have to do is to be sensitive to the feelings and yearnings of all. Let me just be clear in what I'm saying. There are some states where, for instance, in Kebbi, you don't think of a Zulu man becoming governor. So it is in Benue. So it is in some other states, because they are not sensitive to the yearnings of the tribes. There are various tribes in this country. So that if you're talking of a president coming from here, the other tribe will say, well, are we going to watch while others rule? Why can't we produce? It is a level playing field, which is why for some time we've been talking of the 6th zonal structure. You rotate power among the zones, which is the nearest you can do to equity in this country. But for now, we must keep trying. In a company owned by the federal government, if I come in there and all the people I see are Igbos, I feel somehow. All the people I see are Yorubas. All the people I see are Kanuris. All the people I can see are Fulanis or Hausas. I feel somehow. But if the chairman and then the board, as the Constitution of Nigeria says, the federal character must be maintained. If I come there and see that, I feel relaxed. But if I come there and see there's nobody from my own side, I must ask, are we still part of this country? Or are we going to be bystanders and watch as things go on?
Now let's see if the issue of ethnicity has always been a problem. Now I want to look at the issue of political alliances. Now from the word go, we had the NPC-NCNC coalition, the coalition of the North and the Southeast. Then eventually in the Second Republic, we had NPN, the NPP, NPN, UPN, and then of course later we had AD and APP. And then of course we now had a coalition of 3 political parties now forming the APC. Now, Chief Adebanjo, the issue of political alliances vis-a-vis formation of political parties, how successful has that been?
How what? Successful.
How successful has the issue of political alliances, okay, let me just say the ethno-regional question being to the formation of political parties and political alliances,
Well, I think I will begin from where my friend Rubani started. This question of ethnicity. I don't agree with my friend to say everybody wants Nigeria to be one. We want it. It is our desire. We have got to work for it. To take for granted that everybody, we are not tribes, we are different nations in this country. Unless we are conscious of that, in whatever we do, you won't make any progress.
So how has that affected the formation of political parties and political alliances?
It's all pretense. All the formation of political alliances have been there from the First Republic.
Yes.
It's all an attempt that we want to be one. But our action must prove that are we really one. So that is why the founding fathers, after the initial hitch in the country, we have this constitution of constitutional conference. When they gave us the Macpherson Constitution, which was semi-federal, until there was the constitutional crisis that led to the Constitutional Conference of 1954, where we now have what is really semblant of a federal constitution. It was at that time all the regions of the country had their constitution separately written, with autonomy in the regions, with the functions of each region specified. It was at that time that the agitation for the minority started. And in order to solve the problem of minorities, the Willing Commission of Inquiry came in. All this showing us that we are conscious of the various nationalities that's in the country. And unless we find a way of moving along together with that consciousness, and that is why I'm really worried about our leader, the present leader. As good intention as it might be, he must be conscious of reconciling the various tendencies in the country. To come and tell us that, well, I'm doing things on merit without conscious of the fact that who are these people you are calling Nigeria? Are you president of Northern Nigeria? Or you are president of Nigeria? You are the president of Nigeria, you are making an appointment to the extent that one section is completely left out. Would that section be happy?
No,
so that is why we should address ourselves. Everybody agrees that we want to be together. But nobody will like to be together in a unity where those who are enjoying the advantages of the awkwardness of the federation are the rider and we are the horse. In the unity, it won't work.
What an imagery. But Emmanuel will have to take...
Because when you are asking about the alliances, I said it's all pretense. And you see, I've gone through it. And the example we have now is even the present APC. It's a conglomeration of different factors. They pretend.
One question we definitely will be addressing, the question of this APC thing, because that's where we were leading up to. But then at this moment, we'll take a break, and when we return, the discussion on Nigeria's political changing landscape continues in a moment.